Kindred is giga strong right now, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to abuse the hell out of this champion right now, because everything that Kindred wants to do got buffed. Kindred got buffed, Collector got buffed, right? Bloodthirster got buffed, Essence Reefer got buffed. What the hell else do you need? Infinity Edge got buffed, right? Everything got buffed, and you can feel it. You can really feel it. And if you are a good Kindred, this is absolutely the patch for you. And if you're not, I will make you a good Kindred. Timestamps are in the description to skip to the gameplays. I got 2 gameplays for you guys. First things first, the build. Very nice and easy. I don't really need to talk much. All I'm gonna say, Collector first, Berserker Grief second, Bloodthirster third. This is, by the way, with the current Bloodthirster. I'm pretty sure this is gonna get hotfixed or like nerfed very soon, but as long as it's this good, this is giga broken. Even when it gets nerfed, this is still going to be very strong. Essence Reefer. And then here, more often than not, I go for Infinity Edge. If the enemies are tanky, you're going to get a Mortal Reminder first. But more often than not, you're going to get Infinity Edge. Empowerment. Don't go Conqueror. Don't try to be a smartass. Always Empowerment. On Kindred, this is the most broken thing. Because think about it. You're going to put a stack on someone when you play Kindred. And then you want to focus them. So put empowerment on them, and then it's gonna increase the damage they take. Not only by you, but also by your allies, right? Like, it's just so broken for you to specifically kill one enemy. Brutal, because you're basically attacking all the time. And here's the secret sauce, Cup of Grass. Cup of Grass. Your third ability does bonus damage based on missing health. Now, if you time this, together with Cup of Grass, it's gonna do an additional 8% damage. So essentially, it's like a double percentage bonus scaling damage. It does so much damage on Kindred, the Cup of Grass. So it's really good. Unless the enemies are super tanky, you know, Giant Slayer. But honestly, every game I've been rocking Cup of Grass. Here we go for Legend Alacrity. We want as much attack speed as possible. Your first ability gives you a lot of attack speed and everything, but like we want even more. And more stacks you get, even more attack speed you get. Every stack gives you 5 extra attack speed per stack. Sudden Impact, every time you're dashing, you're constantly proccing Sudden Impact. Yeah, and also after level 9, you get that movement speed, which is just ridiculously strong. This is really good, the Sudden Impact. And of course, Flash and Smite. So that's it about the build. Let's now get into the first gameplay. As I said, I have 2 gameplays for you guys. Let me make the screen good for you all. Let me make the screen good. Yeah, like, you know, I already knew Kindred would be really good. I put her in the S+ tier in my tier list. But she's even stronger than I thought. But the thing is, she's so difficult to play. She is difficult. She has been one of the more difficult champions for me to really get good at. I think you guys can see I'm pretty tired, but I have to make these videos because, as you may see, I'm in my new house right now. For the people that missed it out, because not everyone on the main channel watches my second channel, the HellsDevil Plus channel. I moved out. I'm officially in my new house right now, you know, this is my own place, my own house, but it needs a lot of renovating and building. Like, look, this is how I'm sleeping right now. I'm sitting here on my desk, you know what I mean? These are my clothes and whatever. And hey, I wouldn't change a thing. I'm working hard on this house with my uncle to renovate the whole place, but it's a lot of work. We were done with work at 8:30 p.m. So I went home to eat because it's a little bit more... I can't make food here yet. And it's also just a bit more efficient. I went home to eat. Come on. Yeah, that's a kill. Cup of Grass and Sudden Impact doing the finishing touches as well. Is this a kill as well? There we go. The unfortunate thing is I didn't put a stack on anyone. But it's fine. Actually, there is a stack on him. If he wants to give it to me. Free stack. Free stack. Yeah, so I just recorded like 3 videos for the HellsDevil Plus channel as well. It's almost 2 AM right now, and this is the last thing I'm doing today. I don't have any free time, which, just so you know, I don't mind at all. Building this house is like it's fun. It doesn't feel like work, but I do of course still get physically exhausted. If you guys want to follow the whole journey of me building this house together with my uncle, follow me on Instagram. Click on the link in the description. In my Instagram, in the bio, you can see house tour. Everything is posted over there, and everything is going to be posted in my stories as well. You can follow those stories if you want to. That's basically if you want to see it. I know a lot of you guys are going to be interested in that type of stuff. So talking about this game, great start. I did a very early gank, which normally I don't really do on Kindred. But right there I noticed like I could gank them, right? I cleared my red side jungle and I could gank them. I put the stack on Irelia just in preparation to gank him. It's now very obvious that I do want to gank him. Of course, that's not really the ideal scenario, but that is the unfortunate reality of playing Kindred. More often than not, you are going to be obvious. I pinged him to just fight because I'm coming. But Irelia is not stupid, as you can see. She's not stupid. I don't really like to go boots first. You can go Berserker Greaves first. It's stronger early game. I love to rush Collector, however. I immediately want to get Collector. I want to get as many stacks on it as possible so that I skill really hard into the late game. Put it on Misfortune here. Yes. Can he attack him maybe? Oh, what is she doing? She nearly killed Jinx, but she just gave me a free kill. Very tragic for her. Come on. Boom, boom. She landed a root. You're gonna see in this game, this Morgana is so good at landing roots. She basically stopped me like a million times. I'm gonna ult her. But this Morgana landed another root on my ass, which actually killed me. What an amazing outplay by this Morgana. She caught me like crazy. This is an embarrassing outplay for me. But very, very well done by the Morgana. What can I say? Like that Morgana support. Phew. She was so annoying this game. And the crazy thing is I'm playing Kindred. Morgana shouldn't be a problem. Everything I do gives me movement speed, right? Like everything I do gives me movement speed. And I have dashes and I have a flash. I have everything. I shouldn't get rooted by Morgana. It's embarrassing. But I did. This Morgana is really, really smart. By the way, guys, if you want to get coached by me in Wild Rift, I get a lot of people reaching out about this, but I'm still going to promote it because I love doing it. Also, I'm not increasing my pricing on the coaching, even though I'm coaching so many people. If you want to get coached in Wild Rift, just reach out to me. Best thing through Discord, link in the description. But you can also reach out to me via Instagram, and I'll explain to you exactly, you know, what it's going to look like, what it costs, what you can expect, everything. And then you can give it a try, you know, do like one session, see if you like it. I will definitely improve you. I've never had any... Actually, I've had one coaching session. I remember every single coaching session I've had, which is hundreds, like hundreds, maybe even like 1,000, honestly. They've been great. But one guy, I remember one guy. This guy, what was... He won a giveaway. I remember like 3 years ago, I did a coaching session giveaway. And this guy won the giveaway. He was a... What was it? A Challenger Rengar main. A Challenger Rengar main. He was like top 20 Rengar. So what he did is he recorded a Rengar game and sent it to me for coaching. It was a 12-minute... No, it was like an 11-minute game where he got like 13 kills and 0 deaths, and the enemy had 1 AFK. He was simply stomping them. And I even told him during the session, like, you know, what do you want me to tell you? Like, what do you want me to tell you on this, right? Because the way I do coaching is we record a live gameplay and then we analyze it together. I do many different coaching. Like, I also do live coaching, and I also have all other ways, like playing the champion and explaining what I'm doing live in a call. But he just told me, like, yeah, you asked me to record something, but and I actually specifically said record a nice and intense, or like not necessarily an intense game, just, you know, not a super stomp where someone goes AFK, you know what I mean? It's kind of obvious. So then I told him, like, you know, just record something else. We'll have a, you know, we'll have a normal session. And I never heard from him. Like, bro, I'm... What? It's like... This is basically the same as like playing football, like having Real Madrid against a complete amateur team, and then Real Madrid beating them by like 13-0, and then a coach having to explain to Real Madrid how to play the game even better, right? Like, you can't. It's just, it doesn't make sense. It's a lot better to analyze the game between Real Madrid and Barcelona, which is going to be a very close game, you know, intense game, normal game. So like, I'm not sure why he recorded a game like that, and he just... it was weird. I actually had another coaching session with a guy that was also not quite a success. This was a guy that thought he was like, he was the smartest person in the world. Basically, what champion was it again? What was he playing? I don't remember exactly what he was playing, but I remember him acting like a smartass to me. And like, it's okay to give your opinion, right? Like, you know, I tell you, right here, you shouldn't have invaded. You can tell me why you thought it was okay. That's completely normal. That is how a coaching session works. I need to understand your thought process, right? But this guy, when I told him like, right here, you shouldn't invade because of this and this and this. He's like, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. And I told him, I'm not wrong. No, I'm not wrong. This is why. And I explained to him like, you know, I'm not just gonna say you are wrong. No. I'm gonna explain my reasoning, and I'm actually gonna give you specific details on why, you know, you are wrong. 99% of the times, I'm gonna be right. Right? Like, I know everything about this game. So I explained it to him. Like, I really tried to explain to him, like, you know, this and this and this. And I heard him out. He explained to me then. I actually asked him, like, why do you think you are right? Why do you think you should have invaded here? Why do you think you actually got unlucky? Why do you think it was your teammates' fault? And he was like, yeah, my teammates didn't pay attention, blah, blah, blah. He really didn't give a good reason. He was just blaming his teammates. This is something I don't really like to do. You know, I love to just focus on what you can do. But whatever. You know, funny thing, like, in a competitive environment, he's completely correct with what he was saying. But I really did my best to explain to him that a competitive environment is very different from solo queue, right? You can't expect people to do something. In solo queue, it's just completely different. But whatever, he just didn't accept it. Like, he didn't accept, oh, look at this beautiful ultimate, by the way, and then I killed her. Oh my god. I'm smurfing the hell out of this Kindred, by the way. But he was so, in Dutch we say koppig. In English, what is it called in English? Koppig? So like, for example, you tell a kid to not touch a ball and then he just goes and grabs the ball, right? Like, it's basically like that. Uncoachable. It's an uncoachable person. Some people are difficult like that. And then, you know, again, like, I'm not a smartass. I don't just tell them, no, you're wrong. No. I explain to them the whole reasoning and everything. And I hear them out as well. Like, if I'm coaching you, I'll hear you out. And there have been times, and I'm gonna be honest about this, there have been times where I actually, this is not often, but like, I agreed with the person I was coaching. So like, I would say something like, I remember specifically one person, this is a very high level player, and I'm not saying names due to privacy reasons, but this person, he's a Darius player. I think he'll know who I'm talking about. I remember during a session, I told him like, you shouldn't go Baron here, or something like that. And then he told me a specific thing in the game where it's, I don't exactly remember what he told me, but he told me, because of this and this and this, I knew that the jungler was not here, so this was a free Baron, in fact. And then I actually rewinded the video and he was right. And I told him, you are right. I was wrong, you are right. Very good spot, right? So like, of course, you know, I can make mistakes. Sometimes it happens that I'm wrong as well. And I acknowledge it, like if I'm genuinely wrong. And this is also why I hear out the person I'm coaching. Because you can't just say, I'm right, you're wrong. You're gonna be, you know, that's stupid. That's just being cocky, being a smartass. That's not how you coach people. If you genuinely want to coach people, you have to listen to them. Even though it's people with a lot less experience than you, people that are worse than you at what you're doing, listen to them. Because you can always learn something and you can always be proven wrong. So, Kindred, man, this champion, I can't wait to get into Legendary queue and play Kindred. This champion is really good in Legendary queue. Because in Legendary queue, everyone is solo queue, so people are not going to be coordinated. But people tend to help Kindred with her marks in Legendary queue. Whenever I see Kindreds in Legendary queue, teammates generally tend to help Kindreds, which is great. Like, it's exactly what you need. Look at my damage, by the way. Here I made a mistake. I ulted for my Seraphine, but I actually ended up saving the Zed with my ultimate. Isn't that hilarious, where you can grief your whole team with your ult? I completely griefed my team with that ult. Look, I just died. Had I not ulted, we would have killed Zed and just won the whole game. I think we would have won this whole game right here. Because Gnar would have taken an inhib, I would have taken the dragon, and it's pretty much game over. So my ult was the biggest int in this teamfight ever. You really gotta be careful with Kindred ultimate to not grief yourself. Because remember, the enemy also doesn't die in your ult. Number one tip I have for using Kindred ult, when you're using it for yourself, which is like 95% of the times, is during the last 1.5 seconds of the ult, save your first ability. All you're gonna do is just basic attack. Don't use any abilities during the last 1.5 seconds. And I'm talking when you're almost dead. Pay attention to the timer of your ultimate over here. The moment it runs out, you have to make sure you get healed. Don't go out of your ultimate before the heal, please. The heal is really important. And then when it heals you, right at that moment, you use your first ability to dash out and then even potentially flash. This is the easiest way to escape as a Kindred. Another big tip on Kindred is you can actually secure every objective with Kindred. Look at this, by the way. I may have to ult here. No. Ult. He's not gonna kill me. If you're on a dragon or a baron and the enemy jungler has a better smite than you, just ult. When your objective is low HP, don't smite it, just ult it. So like when the enemy Lee Sin goes in and all ins the objective, he's gonna smite, but he's not gonna be able to kill the objective because of your ult. Yeah. Like, I almost never lose objectives when I play Kindred. When I'm starting the objective, I almost never lose it. Also, as a Kindred, you almost always want to force start objectives because the enemy jungler is just not gonna steal them. When you ult, the enemies cannot see the timer of your ult. You can see exactly when your ult runs out. When it runs out, you're gonna use your first ability basic attack and immediately smite the objective. 90% of the times you're gonna win. Maybe even 95 or even higher if you're really good at Kindred and timing it correctly. So like as a Kindred, don't be afraid to start objectives. Even if all of the enemies are alive. As long as you guys just don't die for it, you can pretty much always win the objective game. Always. It's like always worth it. Just pay attention to your ultimate timer. This is really important. Don't try to be smart and use combos and everything. During your ult, just pay attention to that one thing. You know, especially if you're a man. Women are generally known to be able to multitask a bit more. So this piece of advice is mostly for the man watching, which is like 90% of my audience probably. Don't try to multitask. The only multitasking us men can do is peeing and whistling. That's what we say in Dutch. Don't try to do anything else. You're not going to be able to do it. Don't try to be a smartass. We all know we won't be able to do it, you know. But for women, it's different. For some reason, women are so much better at multitasking. You know, every time like my mom does something, you know, she's cooking and whatever, I ask her like, how the hell are you doing everything at the same time? And then she just looks at me like I'm a stupid dumbass and doesn't even say anything. And then whenever I try to do it, everything goes wrong. Same with my father. So I'm definitely sure it's a gender thing. 100%. Funny thing. I can trash talk men, but I cannot trash talk women, because then it's sexist in the current world, right? Funny how that works. Where like, wait, let's take a look at this stuff. I have a whole big rant coming for you guys. Let's take a look at the damage I did and everything like that. 20 kills, by the way. There's another gameplay, by the way, after this. I did 38,000 damage. Let's take a look at the runes, by the way, before I move on to the gameplay. Almost 3,000 damage from empowerment. So, okay, that's the first gameplay. Now moving on to the second gameplay. Let's go to the game. Okay, let me give you guys a bit of a rant. You know, if I get cancelled, so be it. That's what life is. I've been cancelled multiple times already. So, if you're a man, you can trash talk other men. Funny thing, if you're a woman, you can also trash talk men, and it's gonna be okay. It's generally seen as okay to just trash talk men, and I don't know why. I don't know why, and I'm not okay with it, but whatever, you know, it's like I'm just a simple soul in this world. I cannot change that. But it's really, I find it a bit offensive and crazy. Like I don't take offense, but I just find it unfair. That like I can say like men are this and that, it's completely fine. But if I ever say women is this or that, I'm sexist, I'm a hater, and blah blah blah. But if you are a woman, of course it's gonna be okay for you to trash talk other women. Fun fact, actually it kinda isn't. It kinda isn't. But if you trash talk a man in any way, shape or form, just, you know, men are trash, blah, 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 no one is gonna speak up. No one is gonna speak up. Because it's, I guess it's politically correct nowadays to trash talk men, try to bring a man down, which is very sad. Like, I think that's very sad. But I think men and women, we're all humans. I just don't understand why suddenly nowadays there is so much trash talking on men. You know, we have the rise of feminism, which is a great thing, in my opinion, especially in the 70s, 80s and whatnot, because women definitely didn't have a good time in history. It was completely unfair. And then it got really good. But nowadays, and again, very controversial opinion, and I may get cancelled for this, but I think feminism has gone too far in a sense where, for example, a woman wants to divorce a man. You know, there's gonna be counter arguments for it. Sure, maybe he did something wrong. Maybe it's very bad, very wrong. Of course, there's things that, like, that's it. But a lot of things you can fix. And back in the days, whether a man or a woman made a mistake, you would sort of look for a fix, and it was more traditional. You would stay together, be a happy family. Again, there are counter arguments to this because a lot of people stayed together against their will, and, you know, there's also bad stuff to this, and I disagree with this, but there's like the middle ground where people generally had the goal to stay together for life. If issues happened, let's say, for example, an issue happened and the man went to his friend. His friend is like, no, bro, you gotta stay married. Like, this is an amazing wife. People make mistakes, blah, blah, blah. And I would say that nowadays, generally, it's still similar for men. You know, where like, if a friend of mine is married and he's telling me like this and this and this, I'm probably gonna tell him, unless it's really bad, like, it's your wife, you know, stay with her. But I have a feeling that nowadays, with the feminism movement, that in my opinion went a little bit too far, women are a bit toxic to each other. I have a feeling that, like, let's say, for example, a woman is saying like, my man is not giving me enough attention. I have a feeling that generally her friends will have more of a tendency nowadays to tell her to just divorce the man, rather than talk it out and fix it. Again, not everyone, right? Like, there's a lot of great stuff, but I feel like too often this is happening. And then she's gonna listen because the outside world is advising her in a vulnerable state. She's gonna be in a vulnerable state because she wants to divorce the man, and she's gonna feel very bad. She's gonna look for outside advice. And if everyone on the outside advice tells her that, it's bad. Even if you Google, like, go to Google and look up, what should I do if my wife is screaming at me? The answer is gonna be, whatever Google's gonna say, is gonna be something like, you need to better yourself, you know, try to figure out why she's screaming at you, talk with her, blah, blah, blah. Great advice, right? Like, it's nice, it's not toxic, it's great. Like, talk with your wife, find out what's wrong. But if you look up, what if my husband is screaming at me? Depending on what country you live in, you are probably gonna get a hotline for domestic abuse. Isn't that unfair? I mean, of course, you know, a man being aggressive towards a woman is completely different than a woman being aggressive. But we're talking about screaming, for example, which, again, is bad. But why are we getting, you know, for a man, a normal response? You know, talk with your wife, try to figure out what's wrong with her. And for the women, with the same search thing, she gets like a domestic abuse line. It's not okay for him to scream at you. You know what I mean? Again, I'm probably gonna get cancelled for this. Whatever. This is my opinion. I am more traditional. It's completely fine to be whatever you want to be and everything. Oh my god, I just saw this Lee Sin. But I just think things need to not be taken too far. I really, because, you know, I've been, of course, dating women here and there. And more often than not, you know, when I talk about like marriage and whatever, and then I ask them like, what do you think of divorce? You can have your opinion or whatever. But very often do I hear something like, you know, divorce is completely normal. After like 10 years, we could fall out of love. We're gonna divorce. And then I say something like, okay, but what about, you know, if we have like kids, 2 kids, 3 kids, whatever. And I don't only ask this during dating. I just generally ask this out of curiosity. Not only to women, also to men. Just to people in general. And very often nowadays, I just get an answer like, yeah, whatever. Like, I'll be single. I'll be a single dad, single mom. And I'll find someone else. I'll find joy in something else. I don't find this okay. I don't find this okay. I don't. Because I think this sets children up to become... I don't want to use words that get cancelled, but like to become bad people. Imagine growing up without a father as a little girl. You're never going to learn how a man is supposed to treat you. Imagine growing up with no father or no mother as a little boy. You're not going to have a father or mother figure. Especially a mother figure. Like for me, my mom was everything to me. I cannot imagine growing up... You know, of course, you know, people have fathers or mothers that die. And that's okay. That's different. But if you know, they just... You know... And every single person that has divorced parents, they will relate to this. I assure you that, whether you like it or not. Deep down, they don't want their parents to be divorced. Again, there are specific situations, right? You have domestic abuse. There are situations. Like, again, there's situations for everything. But nowadays, it's just so much easier. I'm done with this. I'm gone. I hate it. I hate it. I really, really, really hate it. And it makes me scared to commit to someone, knowing that this person is thinking like, yeah, if we fall out of love, that's it. In my opinion, that's not it. Till death do us apart. Till death do us apart. If I decide to marry someone, unless that person cheats on me, or does something that's just unspeakable, till death do us apart. And that's how it should be, guys. You know, if you are like maybe 14 years old, 15 years old, watching this video, and you think differently about this, no, it's wrong. This is something that is just wrong. Again, you can be whatever you want to be, you can think whatever you want to be, but if you marry someone, you only should marry someone till death do you apart. You are 100% sure. Again, things are gonna happen, right? Like, there are things that are fine lines. But you are not gonna divorce because you fell out of love. You're gonna find the love again. You're gonna find the therapist. You are just gonna do that. Because you have... It's not only you and your wife, it's your kids. Your kids. And just everything I've seen is divorced people are not as happy as married people. That's what I've seen. Everywhere. And again, you know, there are some people that are going to be more happy divorced because of, you know, abuse and all that kind of stuff. But generally, yeah, this is just my opinion. Because the thing is, you know why I have such a good view of this? Because I live in every world. You know, I live in a Western country, the Netherlands, amazing country, best country in the world, by the way. It's like, hands down. But of course, I have Iraqi family as well. So I can see both worlds, and I see the good and the bad of both worlds. There's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad in both worlds, and I assure you that. There is not a perfect world, there is not a perfect country, there is not a perfect culture. Everything has their positives and their negatives. And I'm telling you guys, from what I'm seeing, because for example, I have someone in my street, it's a woman. She has 5 kids from 4 different men. In my opinion, that is terrible. One of her kids got taken away from her. But she's still getting more kids with random men. Isn't that unfair to the kids, guys? Isn't that objectively unfair? I think it is. It's not I think, I know it is. Right? And I'm not afraid to say that. I don't know, man. And I feel like it's only getting worse and worse and worse. The traditional stuff, you know, being together, being one team. I feel like men and women are having too many expectations from each other. Our brain is getting rot from TikTok, from Instagram, telling us what you need to expect from someone as a partner or like as a everything. What you need to be in life when you're 20 years old. You need to have a house by 30. You need to have a family by... No, you don't need anything. You live your life in your own terms. You don't need anything. You just need to be, you need to find what makes you happy and pursue happiness. And generally happiness is not, you don't get happiness from instant gratification generally. You get happiness from working towards something, right? Working towards something, achieving something, maintaining something. This is why I say marriage till death do us apart. You're gonna achieve a family, you wanna maintain a family. Because once you lose that, man, I just, like for me personally, I can have all the money I want, everything I want. For me, like right now I have everything except for, you know, a wife. And for me, that is the most important thing. And if you look at videos asking billionaires, what is the number one piece of advice you can give? Find a good wife. I've only seen men answer this, but like I would assume a woman would say the same thing. Find a good husband, right? Just find a good partner. Because a good partner is gonna make or break you. 100%. 100%. I've seen so many amazing women or men just absolutely being torn down by their partners. And it's so sad to see. Choose the right person. Right? Choose the right person. See someone that fits with you. Look for someone that makes you a better person. Someone that uplifts you. Someone that stays with you through the difficult times. Don't flex with a lot of money if you have a lot of money, because that's gonna attract the wrong people. Don't go to the bar expecting to find yourself an amazing wife, right? Don't go to the, you know what I mean? Like be smart about it. Be smart about this. And as a woman, you know, also don't, it's the same thing, same stuff. Like everything I'm saying is the exact same for men and women. Exact same thing. Just be smart about this. And don't settle for less. You deserve everything. I don't care who you are, I don't care what you are, you deserve everything. Don't settle for less. And don't let anyone tell you you are not beautiful. Don't let anyone tell you you are worth nothing. Don't let anyone tear you down. Please, I love you. A lot of other people love you. More people love you and care about you than you would think. And life is good. I've had my moments as well where I felt terrible in life and I just wanted to, you know, shut it off, I guess I should say. Just be done with it. But I assure you, everything gets better. And how does it get better? You know, you're in this deep hole. How do you ever get out of this hole? Well, you start climbing. The slow climb. But let me tell you one thing. And this is the number one thing I say to people that just feel depressed. Once you fix your things, you are gonna be happier than the average person. Think about it. Do you enjoy candy more when you're hungry and after you've not eaten sugar for a whole month, or if you're eating it constantly every single day? If you're eating it constantly every single day, it's gonna get boring. You're gonna look for different candy. If you were starved for a whole month, or if you're just hungry and you see candy in front of you, you're gonna eat it. You're gonna feel so much euphoria. The same goes for being depressed and just, you know, being in a bad spot in life right now. It could take months, it could take years. But don't give up. Work really, really hard towards your goals. And once you achieve those goals, I assure you that the feeling is unreal. Me personally, let me give you explain to you me personally my situation in case you don't believe me. I was on top of the world in 2022. My YouTube channel went viral. I got hired as a commentator. I was doing my dream job. I was on my way to buy a house. I was making so much money. Everything was great. My life was amazing. And then suddenly, Wild Rift Esports got cancelled. I lost 90% of my income. Because I also lost all of my sponsors because they gave up on Wild Rift. In 1 month, I lost everything. You know when I lost it? I was about to invest in a new product together with business partners. I got an email. Yeah, everything is done. And I told my business partners, guys, I'm forfeiting. I'm going out. I don't have money anymore. I took the train home And I started crying my eyes out, dude. I thought like, why give me everything and then suddenly take it away, right? That's what I thought. And a whole year in a depressive state, earning less than minimum wage, feeling just terrible. And that's when I started player versus fitness. I started going to the gym, slowly but steadily, working hard. It took me 5.5 months to make that transformation. And I started a successful company, Player First Fitness, which I still do today, which is still a successful company. We've helped hundreds of people, right? And my channels are blooming again. I started to make a lot more money again. I bought a house. I'm currently working on the house. I started investing my money. You know, I started dating a lot more and I found a nice girl. You know what I mean? Life gets better, but you gotta work. I didn't sit on my lazy ass. I worked hard. And it took me 2 years. It takes a while. Every single day going to bed thinking I hate myself. This is terrible. But then the day came. I bought this house. And now life is amazing. Of course there's still things, you know, that I don't like. But the point that I'm trying to make right here is, doesn't matter what age you are. Doesn't matter how dire your situation is. Have a positive outlook on life. Have a positive outlook. Because I assure you, with negativity in your mind, you're not getting anywhere. You're not. It's the something Kruger effect. What is it called? Something. Let me look it up. Kruger. It's a Dunning-Kruger effect. A cognitive bias where people with low. Wait, no, it's not that one. It's a different effect. I forgot what it's called. But basically, if you are being negative all the time, there's a higher chance of it actually happening. Because you're just constantly being negative and thinking about all the bad stuff. There's actually a higher chance of bad stuff happening to you. Because you're mostly going to be focused on that. Alright. You know, there's people gonna unsubscribe because of all this talk. But even if I helped only one person with this talk, it's gonna be worth it. I really don't care. I'm gonna say stuff like this on my channel because it's my channel. You know, many people just talk about Wild Rift, whatever. If you wanna unsubscribe, feel free to unsubscribe. On my HellsDevil Plus channel, it's 100% Wild Rift. You know, I only talk about Wild Rift. On this channel, I talk about whatever the hell I want. So yeah, deal with it or don't. It's just, you know, I just wish I could speak to myself when I was like, you know, 14, 15 years old. And I wish I could say these things because, you know, I would be able to just be happier that way. You know, not listening to other people. Because like, I'm a pretty smart person, you know, I have a pretty high IQ. However, you know, I'm stupid with other ways. I have severe ADHD. So like at school, I was pretty stupid. So it made me feel like a dumbass, right? Like at school, I felt stupid. And I just didn't understand why. Because like, you know, I would do these tests. These doctors would tell me, you're very smart, blah, blah, blah. But then at school, I was stupid. And I shouldn't have believed that, right? Like, it's not that I believed I was stupid or something. But it's just... If a teacher tells you you're dumb, you're never gonna achieve something, you don't care about that, right? Like whoever, even if your parents tell you that, no, you gotta believe in yourself. Don't listen to that stuff, because if you listen to that stuff, you'll start to believe it. There is actually an experiment that was done on ants. They were like jumping ants, and these ants were able to jump this high. However, for the experiment, they put the ants in a container that was this high. For like a couple of hours. After taking them out of that container, the ants kept jumping this high. Their offspring also jumped this high. And they never were able to go this high again. Even though they were physically capable to do so, they maintained here due to the mental barrier. Same thing happens to you when someone tells you you're stupid and you believe it. You're not stupid. Your potential is being withheld. Live up to your potential. Don't listen to negative stuff. And thank you so much for watching. Click on the like button. Put down a comment. You know, skin giveaways and all of that in the comments. Just put down a comment. Take a look at how much damage I did and everything like that. I'm about to put my ass in bed. after this. 19 kills in this. I am just going ham in these games, honestly. 58,000 damage. Look at the runes, by the way. Let's take a look at the runes. Nearly 4,000 damage from empowerment. That's just ridiculous. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.